A crowded restaurant hummed with quiet conversations and clinking cutlery, but something unusual was about to unfold. No one noticed the billionaire in the corner at first, dressed simply, watching people instead of screens. He had built empires, controlled markets, and shaped futures, yet tonight he felt an unfamiliar emptiness. When his eyes landed on a tired waitress moving between tables with quiet resilience, he made a decision that would change both of them. Karpov. What started as a careless joke would soon unravel something he wasn't ready to face. He called her over with a casual wave, barely looking up at first. His tone carried the weight of someone used to being obeyed. He asked her, almost mockingly, what advice she would give a man who had everything. She paused, studying him for a moment longer than expected. Her eyes didn't show fear or admiration, just honesty. That pause unsettled him. He had expected a quick laugh, maybe a polite answer, something predictable. Instead, she placed the tray down gently and spoke with a calm dot that felt heavier than any boardroom decision he had ever faced. Her first words were simple, but they struck him harder than any criticism. She told him that people who ask that question usually don't have everything, no matter how it looks. The noise of the restaurant seemed to fade as her voice lingered. He felt something shift inside him, something he had ignored for years. For the first time in a long while, he didn't have a response ready. He just stared, caught between irritation and a strange curiosity. She didn't wait for his reaction. She picked up her tray and walked away, leaving him sitting there unusually quiet. He returned the next evening, not out of hunger, but for answers he didn't want to admit he needed. He watched her again, noticing details he had missed before. The way she treated every customer with equal respect, the patience in her movements, the quiet strength in her smile. When she finally came to his table, he asked her why she had said what she did. This time, there was no joke in his voice. She hesitated, then sat down across from him for just a moment, breaking every rule she was supposed to follow. He told him about long nights, about dreams that had been postponed, not abandoned. She spoke about taking care of her family, about choosing dignity even when life made it difficult. Her words were not dramatic, but they carried truth. He listened, really listened, and something uncomfortable began to grow inside him. He realized that while he had spent years chasing success, he had forgotten what it felt like to be human in simple ways. Her story didn't impress him in the usual sense, it humbled him. Days turned into a routine. He kept coming back, and their conversations grew deeper. He found himself asking questions he had never asked anyone before, and she answered with a clarity that made him question his own life choices. Slowly, the distance between their worlds seemed less important, but outside that small restaurant, his reality still waited. His business partners noticed his distraction, his decisions became less predictable, and whispers started to spread about the change in him. One evening, he finally admitted something he had never said out loud. He told her he felt lost, despite having everything people dream of. The words felt heavy, but also relieving. React with surprise. Instead, she told him that being lost wasn't the problem, pretending not to be was. That honesty broke something inside him, but it also gave him a sense of direction he had been missing. For the first time, he wasn't trying to win or prove anything, he was just trying to understand. In the end, nothing about his life looked the same, even though everything on the surface remained. He still had his wealth, his influence, his empire, but he also had something new, something far more valuable. Perspective. The waitress didn't become part of his world in the way people might expect. Instead, she reminded him of a world he had left behind, and as he walked out of the restaurant one last time, he realized that the joke he had started with had revealed a truth he could never ignore again.